Everybody ready?
Yeah, we're waiting here.
Well, Patty, good morning to you. So we are just about getting ready to get started here. Behind the camera, out of the corner of my eye, walking up the hill here from the entrance ramp from Phillips Highway is Chief Tom Hackney.
It's about 8:45 a.m. Sunday morning, July 26th. We're about to have our 5th news conference reference the Amber Alert, missing abducted child, Lonzie Barton. Chief Tom Hackney will be doing the speaking this morning, and he's set to go in just a second. Thanks for joining us.
This is day 3 of the search, more than 60 hours since that 21-month-old boy has been last seen alive. I'm going to step out of the way now because we have Chief Tom Hackney from Jackson Sheriff's Office briefing us on the latest on this investigation. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming out. Kind of brought you out here in the middle of the woods. Kind of want to show you what we're going to be into today. You know, this is our going into our 3rd day of looking for 21-month-old Lonzie. This is a fluid moving investigation. I've said before, this is a fact-driven investigation, and we will go where the information and the tips lead us. We're out here today in the area south of the Avenues Mall, 295 Phillips Highway area. You know, once we started getting some information, and it's good that we're into day 3 because a lot of things start happening with police investigations as time progresses. One of them is we start getting results. You know, we have ideas of what we want to do with information and evidence early on, and as time progresses, that evidence starts coming back. That leads us different places. Today it's led us here, and we are going to be in the water today. You start looking around this area, there's a whole lot of retention ponds, a whole lot of little lakes. We are not here accidentally. We're not here in any willy-nilly basis. We are looking in certain places, and we're looking in these bodies of water for a reason. We have 150 plus police detectives, officers, patrol officers from not only the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. We've got FBI cadaver canine dogs that came up from Miami. We've got the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation officers who are going to be out here helping us today in some of these wooded areas. We've got the bomb squad. Bomb squad detectives are also trained in some diving, so we've multiplied the number of divers so we can better address some of the water areas that we have to do. Again, physical and technological evidence that we've submitted and looked at is coming back to us. That's good for us. That's good for the investigation. But all this comes back to one thing, that Ruben Ebron has the answers that I need. I made some comments about Ruben and what we kind of felt like he was doing. He's lying to us. He's trying to manipulate investigators. But I think if we could have anybody that may know Ruben, that could have contact with Ruben, appeal to him, appeal to his good nature, appeal to his heart. I think to do that will help. You know, today's a Sunday morning. There's a lot of people in church, and if you're so inclined, the things that can help that the public can do, one of them is pray for the answers, pray for a successful resolution. I said yesterday, as time progresses and time goes on, our chances of finding Lonzie alive slip away. That breaks my heart, and it breaks all the, I mentioned 150 plus officers and detectives who are out here. It breaks their heart as well. We want a resolution. We certainly want a positive resolution, but nevertheless, I want a resolution to this. I want to provide Lana Larimore some answers to what happened to her baby, and I want to provide Lana Larimore her baby back in whatever shape or form we can do that to. She deserves answers, and Lonzie deserves justice for what may have happened to him. More questions than answers, unfortunately, and the man who's at point to giving us those answers still remains uncooperative to the point that we have a successful resolution. We will continue to talk with everyone associated with this case. We've not just talked to him once or twice. We're going to continue to talk to him, continue to bend their ears, to get information that they have. We haven't given up. One talk isn't enough. There's a trailer park that's over here in this general area. We have some information that's led us there. We're going to be going door to door in that location today, and there's hundreds of trailers in there, mobile homes, trailers, and those folks that live in there can expect to see a pretty strong police presence throughout this. We will be wherever this information leads us, and we can go. We've had 70 some odd tips that have come in. Those tips are helpful. We are certainly welcoming the public's input into this. The suggestions, I read the comments on the different news media sites. Those don't go unnoticed, and I'm certainly happy to take suggestions. And if there's something that we see as police see that we haven't thought of or haven't done, we'll put that into play. The public needs to understand, as well as the news media does, that everything I share with these news media updates isn't everything I know. I'm not silly enough to do that. We're got our best and the brightest on the actual investigation into this, and I have strong faith in those men and women. You know, these men and women, hats off to them. They're leaving their families over the weekend. They're out here in the same kind of area that we're in. It's not the best conditions. It's hot. It's muggy. There's bugs everywhere. There's snakes. So my hats go off to those men and women, and to the news media. You're out here with us every minute of the day, waiting to get this story out, waiting to get the updates that we have out. So it's your cooperation that really makes this go forward. So thank y'all. I can take some questions if anyone has
Chief, did he say something? Has he led you to believe that he did something with this young boy in water?
Again, I'm not out here accidentally. I don't want to go into too many specifics, but it isn't happenstance that I'm standing in front of a lake, and I'm standing in front of a pond, and I have divers at break of dawn in these waterborne areas. That is no happenstance.
Chief, anything you can tell us about evidence you found that has helped lead you here?
I'm into some technological evidence that we have. We start getting those results back as we get into a couple days here. Cell phone information is pretty helpful without going into great detail. But if there's a ton of cameras around this side of town. There's a ton of cameras around in different businesses, and we have looked at as many of those as we can find, and they're still coming in. That information is very informative, very helpful, and helps. We're trying to paint a picture of everything that happened from 8 o'clock when Ruben dropped Lana off at Wacko's to 2:20 when he called police. I'm filling in that timeline. We're filling in every gap that we can. Traffic cameras help. Cell phone information helps. These business cameras help. You'd be surprised that how many of these businesses have cameras that point to the street. Red light cameras along different routes are pretty helpful. DOT cameras, those kind of things. Again, if there's something to look at or somewhere to go, an avenue to go down, the investigators assigned to this case are doing just that. So.
You mentioned yesterday something was recovered at one of the parks you searched. We know what that was?
It's not immediately identifiable to the case. But again, until I really know what happened with Lonzy, I don't know how it could be or couldn't be associated with that. So I'd rather collect everything that I can find, everything that may be associated with it. I'll filter through that, or have detectives filter through that later when we know a little bit more what happened. So, you know, it's just information comes in. I said it's information driven. That's some information. Buddy will take it. So.
Chief, in these updates, you've called this man a liar. You've called him a monster. What could he have possibly been motivated by to hurt this child?
You know, it could be anything. It could be so much as just a mistake, something that happened that was a mistake. And I get that. Things happen, and I can understand that. So the mistake that happened that night doesn't need to continue to perpetuate. That mistake can be rectified by sharing some information with us. Let us get our hands on Lonzy. Let us find him. Let us get him back with his mom. That's the kind of thing that we're at.
Chief, is the
as for the assistance of Texas at the search, can you provide any information on what you're hoping that agency can help with, and talk a little bit about what they do?
EquiSearch is a group of vetted, trained searchers. I have a lot of area to search. I have a lot of wooded area to search. I have a lot of bodies of water. I have a lot of woods. There are so many woods down in this area. And again, I'm not here looking in woods and looking just happenstance into these areas. That's a group of people that are helping us look. By looking, we find.
Chief, is the Amber Alert still?
Amber Alert's still out there. I still believe that Ruben is the person who abducted Lonzy. And until I can prove differently or otherwise, that Amber Alert will remain in effect.
Did you bring Ruben out here yesterday?
We took Ruben several places yesterday. This area down here south of the Avenues Mall was one of them.
Is he not saying anything when you guys press him for this kind of information?
Yes and no. I think he's a smart guy. I think he may be worried for his own future based on what may have happened. Again, if this was a mistake, we can get through mistakes, but don't let this mistake continue on. So,
do you think there's any possibility he could still be out there with somebody? Maybe somebody covering something up, trying to disguise him?
I don't think so, honestly. I never say never, but again, this has more questions than answers, and those are some of the questions that we've asked, and you can't be single focused on one thing. And trust me, we're not. We've got several irons in the fire when it comes to this, and looking at as many avenues as we can. But we will look at and put the most effort towards what we think to be the most logical thing that would have happened with Lonzy. And here we are.
Chief, do you feel like you are getting closer to a resolution to this case? I mean, we are on day 3, more than 60 hours missing. Do you feel like today you're getting inching closer to the outcome?
Yeah, it's a good question. I really do. I feel like, again, some of this information that we have, some of this evidence is starting to come back and helping us paint a picture of everything that happened. 3 days into it, it's a long time. It'll wear on you, as you know, you've been out here this whole time. But I think we are. I think we're getting closer and closer, and I'm hoping and praying for a successful resolution.
We've been told that trash pickup in the area where he was last seen happened on Friday. Are you guys looking at the possibility of searching any landfills for possible evidence that could have gotten taken out?
Part of what we did through that first day's search is if there was a dumpster in that immediate area that we looked at, we were in it. As nasty as that is, if we didn't see the bottom of the dumpster, we weren't done. And we went through bags and took them out and did that in the apartment complex. And in that first grid search area, some of that happened down here. If there's information that we have that would lead us to a dump, as we've seen in the past several months around here with some cases that we had that led us out there, we're certainly not afraid to put that kind of operation into play. Again, none of this is willy-nilly. If it leads us out there, we'll be there. All right, thank you all for your support.
And if you are just joining us, that was Chief Tom Hackney.
That was just